where the buffalo roam and the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Hey everybody, Lawman Mike with www.lawmanguitars.com. Now, why am I singing a cowboy song? Check out this really cool Carson J Robinson cowboy guitar. Now, who in the world is Carson J Robinson? Well, if you were born back in the 1920s or 1930s, you would know him as well as any of the cowboys like Roy Rogers. He was the pre-Roy Rogers of the Roy Rogers. Carson J Robinson had a radio show in WDAF radio back in 1920. And he played cowboy songs, and he did all sorts of skits, and he wrote tons of cowboy songs, and he was extremely popular. He was so popular that they made a guitar for him that they sold in the Wards catalogs. Yes, these guitars were sold in Montgomery Wards catalogs, and it's branded Carson J Robinson right on the top. You can see it right there. I'm so excited to have one of these. This is actually the second one of these that I've had. Now, they made these guitars from 1930 to 1941. We identified this one as an early 1930s. We're calling it 1935. There's no numbers to get that close. However, the square headstock on this one versus the different headstocks they had later, we're going to call this a 1935, but it could be an early 30, earlier than that even, but we're, just to be safe, calling it 1935. Now, the other neat thing about these guitars is they were made by Gibson. Now, these are Depression era guitars. I mean, these guitars were made back in the 30s, and Gibson was desperately trying to stay in business, and they're building guitars for different people. They built this guitar. Now, what they did is they built guitars for different companies, and you'll see those out there occasionally, and they built them to different specs, okay? So this is basically an L-00 model Gibson guitar. However, as opposed to being X-braced with the L-00 would be X-braced, this one is ladder braced. So they would be able to say, well, it's not a Gibson guitar, okay? However, if you look at all the stuff on it, it's really hard to tell this was not made by Gibson. It's got a beautiful Sitka top, Sitka spruce top on it, and it is just absolutely beautiful. It's got a couple cracks. There's a crack here, here, and here, all professionally repaired. Been played to death. You can see over the Firestripe Pickguard. Now, these Firestripe Pickguards are just really, really, really cool. And this one, boy, I don't think this is ever raised whatsoever. It is on there just as solid as it can be. A lot of times they'll come off, they get lost. I mean, this is old Bakelite material. I mean, this is really thin, and it's called Firestripe with these, looks like fire flames in it. It's got the original bridge. It's got the original saddle still. Looks like, boy, I would guess these have been replaced. They were probably wood back in the day, and those don't last as long. But the tuners on this guitar are original. Those are really, really old tuners. There's no highlights of any other tuners haven't been on it. I cleaned them up, and they look gorgeous. And aside from that, it's got the original nut still on it. The frets are original. You should see all the finger divots in this guitar. This guitar was played and loved. I got to tell you, it just got almost Willie Nelson kind of wear in here where they've strummed and strummed and strummed. And then you get onto the back of the neck. I mean, look at this. I mean, all the finish has been worn off this big fat neck. It was played all the way up and down the neck. It's not just worn in the top 3 frets, although I will tell you, you can feel, this is where the hands have been mostly, okay? I can feel some little divots even in the back of the neck. But the neck's on here nice and solid. There's no indication that the neck had ever been off this guitar. Could it use a neck reset? That's probably going to be a question that comes up. I would say, I mean, if you're going to play this guitar professionally, I mean, who's going to play this guitar professionally? I would be very surprised if you did. If you were going to do that, I would say yes, maybe you do want to have the neck reset. However, most people are going to play this thing and strum some chords on it. They're not going to be playing hot licks up and down the neck, okay? However, you can certainly play that. I mean, I've been playing this guitar, and it plays very, very nicely. It plays as nice as any guitar from this era. Would you want a neck reset? Maybe. I would not take the neck off this guitar. That's just my opinion, okay? Now, from there, The guitar doesn't weigh anything. It's like an ounce over 3 pounds. I mean, it's just very, very light. Just beautiful. I mean, look at this. You know, I'm showing you all the wear on this guitar and saying how beautiful it is. Well, it is beautiful because this guitar has been played, and greatly, greatly loved. I mean, I just love feeling the hands that have been on this guitar. Look at the wear right in here from, oh my goodness, that is so cool. But okay, enough about how it looks. How does this guitar play and sound? It's got a great sound, and it's very, very full, and it sounds like Gibson. I mean, I know what Gibson guitars sound like. I play one every day. I have a J45 that I play daily from 1962, and this one is a lot older than that, but it still says Gibson. Now, the only thing that I would also point out to you is big-handed guys, you're going to love this guitar. It's actually too wide for me. It's a 1 3/4 inch nut on it, and it's got a big, wide U-shaped neck on it, big, fat, healthy-feeling neck. It has a 25-inch scale neck on it, so it'll feel, again, very familiar to those Gibson players, but just sounds great. Guitar play. It sounds fantastic. New strings. What a nice guitar, nice guitar. What a museum piece type guitar that's been around, and has a million more songs in this guitar. Gosh, what a neat guitar. Now, that's really cool. I've got a really cool case for you. I have to tell you, it is not an original case. I wanted to have a really special case for it, and I've been saving this one. It's from the 60s. It's just in gorgeous shape, and it fits that L-00 size really, really well. It fits it perfect, as a matter of fact. And all the latches are on it, of course. The hinges are on it. Original handle. This really cool plastic handle. But check out the inside. It's got this really cool yellow plush that is really, really plushy. Is that a word, plushy? Accessory boxes here. Neck support on there. I mean, it's just a really, really nice case. And that guitar probably would have come in a canvas type case. And you know, for shipping and hauling it around, I would feel a lot more secure with this case and that guitar. So Check it out. We got a really cool Carson J Robinson guitar from 1935, Gibson built, and it's just really, really cool, and it sounds marvelous. I hope you heard that through our demo. So check in on all of our really cool guitars out at www.lawmanguitars.com. You're seeing this on our YouTube channel. Reach down just below where it says subscribe and hit that little button down there, and you will see all of our demos every month. I've got tons of subscribers now, and I'm really happy that you enjoy seeing my demos. So check them all out at www.lawmanguitars.com. Thanks a lot for watching.